Hi everyone, it's Judy. Welcome back to Rose Lane. All right, I think for at least the month of May, we're going to be calling this Tatty Treasure and Collage Type Tuesdays, or Collage Type and Tatty Treasure Tuesdays. While I'm doing this design team project for Memories of the Meadow. Now, if you've watched any of my videos before, you know that I take a lot of, let's say, artistic license, because I have changed my mind yet again, and I probably will again. What I talked about in the first video when I showed you the papers and I was talking about how I was probably going to set up the book, I've changed it somewhat. What's going to end up happening, I think, now is when the book is opened, there'll be 3 signatures. The first signature, journaling ability, pockets, tags, etc. And the third signature, the same. What's going to be in the middle is going to be the story. So that's how, instead of all the flips and flaps in the front, I'm probably still going to put flips and flaps inside the cover, but more for, you know, tags and things like that. More traditional, if I can use that word, journal thing. The story is going to be in the middle. So what we're going to work on today is the story part. This is upside down. Not the story itself. I'm still writing that, so I'm winging it as I go here. So what I've got here is I cut these papers down. These are some of the decorative papers that come in a assortment of the Memories of the Meadows kits. And I cut them down to, I believe it was 8 3/4 by 6 3/4, I think it was. If I'm not mistaken. I've like buried things over here. Let me see if I can, yes, I have a ruler. It's not a very big one, but it may, yeah, okay, 6 3/4, and yeah, that would be like 8 3/4. So that's what I've done, because that is the size, slightly smaller. This is slightly smaller than what the cover is going to be. Now, I started working on the cover, but it required a lot of glue and a lot of sculpting, so it's still drying. So that's going to come later. I actually videotaped the doing of it, but since it's still drying and Tuesday's right around the corner, it's going to have to wait for that video to go up at a later time when I can actually do the back-to-back, show you how I molded it and then how I painted it before all the decorating of it. So anyway, so what we're going to do here, since these pages at an 8.5 by 11 were not big enough for me to, you know, to fold in half to fit the cover, the size of the cover, I decided that I was just going to kind of flange them together. So I'm going to put these to the side and show you what I did. I did a set of 3 so far. I've got 5 sets. So this is what I did. I took some paper, which was the same weight as this, which was a 32 pound, I think, and it's in the cream. I cut it into 1.5 inch strips that were 8 3/4. Oh, this one wasn't. Toss you to the side. That one is. I don't know why that one's too short, but it's too short. Off you go. Okay. And then I just scored it down the middle. So I folded those in half, and then I'm putting them on here. So when you see the other side, it looks just like a continuous, you know, like piece of paper. There's just a small space here so that it can fold. Okay. I have like so. Okay. And then when you open it up, I just flipped them over. That's why this looks different. You have, it's upside down. You have all of this. Okay, so what we're going to do with these, I have 3 of them, which were these 3, okay? These 3 sets that I put together, and this is where they'll be bound into the book, into the signature. I'm going to put the other 2 together so you can see what I did. I'll make sure. Now, I'm a little behind on my prep work for this because I woke up this morning. This was Sunday. And I woke up this morning, I'm sorry, it's Monday. God. I woke up this morning at about 4 o'clock, and I am the only person in the world, I'm sure, who could be relaxing in bed and somehow stand up and my back goes out. But my back goes out regularly, my lower back. And so I stood up on my way to the bathroom because, you know, I'm over 60, so here you go. And my back was just like seizing up on me. So I got back into it. I just had a glitch, sorry. I got back into bed, and before I got back into bed, I put some muscle rub on, and hopefully was going to be fine when I woke up later. Well, it wasn't. And so I ended up, it took me a long time, but I took a hot shower, relatively hot shower. I took some ibuprofen and put more muscle rub on and spent a few hours in bed this morning. Well, spent a few hours in bed trying to feel better, then got up and took my shower, etc., etc. And so my husband went off to work and then came back for me, and it was movie night at our church tonight. We do a movie night with our congregation, and so I needed to and wanted to be able to go down for that. So I just got back from that. So I hadn't had a lot of time to do all the prep work that I would have wanted to do for these pages right now, especially since I had changed my mind just a couple days ago. So what I'm doing is I only inked on the inside that's going to go where the colored page is, the printed page. And then I'm just going to take this and I'm going to put one on here just away from the fold. Okay, just enough away from the fold. And I've got to watch as I'm doing it because, again, I don't always see what I think I'm seeing. Well, it isn't, what I see isn't always what I think I'm seeing. That may not make sense, but it does to me. Anyway, so just going to go ahead and press this one down. And the little things may be a little longer. Like I can see this one is just over the edge, but when it's dry, I will go back and I will trim that off. So that's one on this side. Okay. Now the thing is for this, because the paper is pretty much directional, I want to make sure that I'm getting it in the right direction. So I'm just going to do that and flip it over. I'll move that to the side. And then we'll go with the next one. And I'm sorry about my sniffling. I know I was sniffling in my collaboration video that I did for May You Be Inspired By, for Junk Journal Ideas and Inspiration Facebook group. I was one of the crafters that they had asked if I would share my experience with. And I did it on my screen porch, which was fine. It was lovely. But of course I was sniffling because, you know, it's spring and that's what I do. So I'm sniffling yet again. There's a lump under here and I'm not sure what is causing it. So let me just shift that down a little bit. Okay, now I can see the glue in here and I'll rub a little bit, mostly just to press the paper down, but when I fold it, I'll be able to get a little bit more of that out. Oh, I see what it is. I think that's what it is. Okay, so when I do this here, and the other little bubbles of glue, I can get them off. Okay, and like I said, if I don't get these perfectly lined up, which it doesn't look like I did, I can see this little edge. I don't think I'll be able to push it back too easily, but let's give it a try. There we go, that's not too bad. Okay, it lines it up a little bit better, but again, I can always trim it. And I don't mind. I have a tendency to cut all my pages straight. I don't normally tear my pages. Every now and then I get into that little kind of a frenzy, and I do, but well, you'll see what's going to be happening with these. So here's my fourth one, and now we're going to take, I just cut a whole bunch of these because, like, I didn't know. I still may be doing more. I'm not sure. I just want to make sure that this one is not either. I'm not sure why. Some of these are too short. I don't know why. Too short. Oh, no, too short. What is going on? This one's okay. I don't know why these are too short, but they're too short. I must have done a wrong measure. But fortunately for me, I have what I need right here. This one, I think my score line is, well, maybe not. It may not really be that much off, maybe a little bit, but it'll be fine. So again, I'm inking to the inside where the fold goes. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to start decorating these pages, getting them ready for the story. So you often have, and I'm not worried about this ridge on here because things are going to get covered with, the page is going to be very collaged, more or less, and it's going to be like dimensionally to some degree collaged. So, yeah, so I'm not too concerned about how that's going to be. So I'm still working on the story, and I wasn't sure how much space I was really going to need. And I had said in the other video that when I do it, I'm not going to try to handwrite it or do it in calligraphy or anything like that. I simply don't have the time. And honestly, I haven't done much with calligraphy in years, so I'm really out of practice. And if my handwriting is any inclination of what my calligraphy is going to end up looking like, I may just give it up altogether. But I have all this stuff. So anyway, I can make it as big or as small as I want on my computer. So I will just print it out there. And, you know, and then we'll just apply it to these pages. Now, that being said, once I get this done, I will show you how I intended. I just want to get any little lumps off where this other glue is going to go. Now, that's up, so that's up. So we're just going to flip that over and flip that over so it's in the right direction. We'll get this one done. And for me right now, it doesn't matter what page I start with for decorating. And I know it sounds backwards that I'm going to start decorating the pages before I have the focal point on the page, but I will show you how I intend to get around that as I continue to try to write the story. When I actually print the story, my goal is to print it on, I have a pretty decent weight tracing paper. And that is what it's going to go on. And I will show you why in a moment. So let's get that. That looks pretty good. Okay. Try to get that down. Good there. There we go. Now I'm going to start with one of the ones I did last night just to give, ouch, sorry, every time I twist, I give my back a glitch. All right, let's see here. We'll start with you. Come on. We're going to start with this one, okay, just because. Now, I have myself, this is some fussy cuts here. I have myself a bucket of goodies. I just want to see what this looks like. Almost frightening in in here. But this is a bunch of greenery and leafy ribbons and florals and flowers and butterflies. And you can see if I touch anything, it just all pops out. So we are going to be using an assortment of these kinds of things. So I intend, I'm sure, to make a giant mess on this desk. I have done some fussy cuts already right here. I've got some mushrooms, and I've got some of the mushrooms are from, oh, I see. It's because I cut one a little too aggressively. It belongs to somebody in here. I'm not going to be able to do that with my fingers. Trying to see if well, I can't seem to find my tweezers. Remember how I say I clean and everything is so nice and I'm never going to let it get to be a mess again? Yeah, I need help with that. I have brand new tweezers. Well, you know what? I'll use this. This can help. This can probably help. So I started, some of these are from Collage Type, and some of them are not. As far as the mushrooms are concerned, the flowers that I've cut so far are from Collage Type. That's these. I've got some purple ones that I had done. I have a whole bunch of stuff printed over here, so as I work, I may have to do a little fussy cutting. I don't know how many we're going to get done today. I've got some dragonflies here. They are not, they are a separate cutout from another digital artist. And then I have some of these other mushrooms. So we're going to be, yeah, they're all kinds of like all over here. So some are small, some are larger. And like I said, I have more flowers here. And this is all from Collage Type. So I'm using their fussy cuts. So this was just made smaller. Some are smaller. I just turn them either, if they're portrait, I do them portrait, and then I just turn them, you know, horizontally, and then, or landscape, and then they'll make them smaller or bigger depending on how they have them. But there's some greenery and things like that. So just blew everything all over. Shot some mushrooms back here. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do, this is what we're going to be doing to put the story on. Now, that being said, I have these were also from another place. These cutouts, I had made them bigger, and then I thought, well, by the time I put stuff around it, I really don't want to cover up a whole lot of the paper, because this paper is the point of the book, right? So I made them large, and then I decided I was going to try to make them a little bit smaller. So I had more room for the paper. And with doing the story, however I do the story, I'll just make the font a little bit smaller. So that's not a problem. So if this goes on here like this, and I have to ink the edges just to be sure, when I do the story, I'm going to do the tracing paper, and I'll just put it right onto here. Now, that being said, I'm going to decorate around here, and that's a little bit of what we're going to do tonight. But when I put the story on, there'll be other little things added to the edges of that paper as well, so it'll kind of layer in. So that's my thought. So let's start first. I don't know how much we're going to get done here. One, maybe two. Just depends. Okay. I'm not looking to get a whole bunch more on the edges. I just want to make sure that it doesn't have like that raw paper edge. So just gives it that little bit more, I think, of a finished look. So we're just going to put it down here like this. Let me cover this up. Put it to the side. Whoops. All right. I think I would want to put it up a little higher so that I can do more down here. So let's go ahead with the glue and see what I can do. So that's where I stand with this at the moment. The other pages, giving me a little bit of difficulty coming out here. The other pages that I'm going to do for the journals, well, I shouldn't say for the journals, for the journaling part of the book, of the journal, the first and third signatures are going to be our more normal, you know, I'm just going to be using blank pages. Those I had to cut bigger. I didn't want to do this on everything. I had 11 by 17 paper, so I cut it down to the size I needed. That's white right now, so I have to get it tea dyed and get that ready to, you know, fold in half and get ready for signatures. Now that's going to, I said I wanted to put it up just a little higher. Okay. That's going to, I have some stenciling. I'm going to do a little bit of the fussy cuts on that as well. I'll use parts of these papers, I'm sure, and parts of their Memories of the Meadow pockets and envelopes and things like that. That's all going to go into the regular journal part of the journal. So that's my plan. Now these I did on regular weight copy paper because I knew I was going to bulk this up. So I'm trying to keep my paper layers where I can as thin as possible. So we have that. Okay, so I think the first thing I would like to do is I want to put something, I'm trying to see, oh, here we go. Okay, get these over here. Get my stuff out. I'm going to try as quickly as I can to fussy cut a couple of things here. Whoops. Okay. And I will do my best this week. I've got quite a bit to take care of between the story and the cover and getting the rest of these things cut out. I'm going to try to do this quickly so I don't take a whole bunch of time, but this is, you know, I think I'm finally learning the difference between what's a tutorial and what's a craft with me. Tutorial means I know what I'm doing already. And I'm just going to show you how I did it. And these craft along with me's are just, I'm working it out as I go, and your guys are coming along for the ride. And I have a real big habit. I get these thoughts in my head and these plans in my head, and I think, okay, I'll do it like this. And then it's like, you know what? No, I don't want to do it that way. I think I'll do this. And then I look around and I think of some other things, and I'm like, oh, now you know what? Nope, I need to do it this way. And I just keep changing my mind. So I don't know. I guess it's part of being artistic, perhaps. I don't know. Perhaps. I'm going to cut out just a little bit from here. Try to cut out the larger parts of the white if I can. And then I'll just ink the rest to take away that bright white. But sometimes you just can't cut it out like you would like to, you know, all of it, because it's just too fragile and too difficult to do. So you just have to kind of pick and choose what you think you can do. So I'm kind of looking forward to this because I've never really worked. And it's something else I also have that I can take out. I've had them for forever. Well, forever for me. Probably you know, about 3 years or so. They've been sitting in my drawer because I never think I have the right opportunity to use them. So a lot of what I tend to do is a little more girly, I guess, and not so botanical. Now, when I first started looking at a lot of these things, a lot of videos when I was first starting out, there was a lot of botanical going on, and I liked it. I just never seemed to be able to pull it off. I kept going back and, you know, making it frilly and flowery and pink and, you know, I don't know. So I had bought these stickers, you know, these floral stickers and botanical floral stickers, and still have them, never used them because they just don't go in those pink frilly books. So I do have them. I'll have to go to my drawer down here and dig them out. I mean, they're so far down in this cabinet that I have, and trying to do a Rubik's Cube here for fitting in my furniture, and, you know, trying to access every corner I can of this part of the basement. And quite honestly, I was looking at, you know, the space that I do have here, and yes, it is considerably smaller than the space I had in the basement where I was last in Buffalo. I just had a massive, massive amount of space, and even I couldn't fill it up. Just saying something. And anytime I needed more space, I just moved further out into the basement. I'm trying to decide. Let's see what I think. Let me find my brush and my ink, and let me see what I think. Do something on here. I can use this. If I just ink this up, am I satisfied? A little heavy-handed there, but that's all right. Yes, I'm satisfied with that. So we're gonna put one of these down here, methinks. Okay, I'm gonna do this one first. So anyway, but I was looking around, you know, the basement that I have here, the space in the basement I have here. This was probably the wrong thing to cut on camera. Though these little spikies, thistly edges, this could take a minute. And I thought, you know, really, I have a lot of space compared to probably what many of our crafters, you know, in this community have. I know many just work, you know, out of some boxes and crates and things, totes or whatever, and you know, work off their dining room table, and they have to clean it up every time they work, and or their kitchen table, you know, because they eat there. They need it. So really, you know, I can't complain. I'm not doing this as well as I could, but that's okay, because it's probably going to get covered considerably. So it is, you know, yes, I share my space with our freezer, which right now you can't get to because I have stuff just piled on top of it. I have stuff piled in front of it because one of my organizing ideas here is I have this immediately to my left, and it comes out like perpendicular to the wall. It does not go flat up against the wall. The end is against the wall, and it juts out into the room. And the reason for that is because, one, I didn't have the wall space to put it flat. And two, I had this idea to, I'm just gonna, you know what, I'm just gonna kind of make my own here. Can go on with it. I had this idea before I left Buffalo to try to utilize the shelf space better, because it has 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the top, which would be technically 5 shelves, but they're like, I don't know, 18 or 20 inches between them. And for a lot of what we have, the stuff that we use, I just don't need shelves that high. I don't, you know, we have small bottles of things and packs of paper, and, you know, there was a lot of wasted space. And I thought, I really can't afford to have any wasted space. So my idea was, I got, you know, constantly was getting boxes from Amazon or whoever, boxes at work, you know, from office supplies or whatever it was. And I thought, you know, I watch people make like even furniture to some degree out of cardboard boxes. And they make little storage things and pretty little things that you can store stuff in, and, you know, shelvings and things like that. And I thought, I don't have to be as elaborate as that. But if I took the boxes and kind of puzzled them together onto each shelf, I could make, you know, laying them on their sides, with the openings toward the front, I could make cubbies, little cubby holes, out of a variety of different sizes of boxes. And I thought, well, you know, that's a pretty neat idea. I can try that. But I want to paint them. And of course, up here in the mountains where, you know, the winter now coming here has been, you know, cold, and it's almost always windy. I'm fearing that I'm going to have to take them down into the valley to the church, you know, and in the parking lot behind our church, and have to do the painting of the boxes down there, because I want them, you know, I don't want them cardboard box colored with shipping labels and, you know, stuff like that on them. So we may only get one of these done if I have to keep fussy cutting like this. I'll have to pick smoother things to fussy cut, but I'm kind of winging this with this one, not going to every point like I started down here. But anyway, so I've been collecting cardboard boxes because I have way more than I need. But the problem is I don't know what I'll need. So I don't know what's going to fit best to utilize the space that I have. I want to try to fill every, you know, nook and cranny of it that I can to make the most of all of that space as best as I can. Then that being said, because the boxes are going to be different depths when I lay them on their sides, some are only going to be, you know, depending, maybe 8 or 10 inches deep, and some are going to be, you know, maybe 20 inches deep, or however deep these shelves are. They're probably about 20 inches deep, you know, front to back. When I line all the boxes up, if you can follow what I'm saying here, when I line all the boxes up with the cubbies facing frontwards, the back of all the boxes are going to be uneven, okay? But because of how I have the bookcase coming out from the wall and my desk is here, I can use all those little uneven shelves that the boxes create, and I can put things that I need close to hand for me, like, you know, I have stuff back here. I have these brushes for the inks. Well, they're kind of hard to get to because I got to go around the lamp and stuff, and so I can take them and I can put them over here. I don't use them all the time, but I use them enough. So, you know, that's kind of my thinking with that. But it's getting to do the project, and that can be an issue, you know, for me trying to get to do the project. So that to say, I've got all those boxes piled over there, on the other side of the room, just waiting for me to get this project done, which if I would get the project done, I'd probably be able to work quicker, you know? So, and here's the thing, is because of that, I can come over on here, okay? So I can do that. Trying to see what kind of, I hope you're seeing what I'm seeing here. Now this looks nice with the purple flowers, and this I'm gonna have to ink because I didn't cut out. These stems are just too thin. but I can put stuff over that. And I'm not done yet because it's not all going to be paper. Okay, so let me just try to get these whitish spots, and I'm going to go around the edges. I'm probably off the camera over here, but this one I have to do flat. Okay. All right, so this one can go up this way, like that. And then do I want... I can do that. And then I have dragonflies. He should go the other way. I'm not sure what I'm going to do there. I like that. I'm just playing with this stuff. I don't know how this is going to turn out, all said and done. But, okay, so we can put this one up here. And I can put a dragonfly right over it. That would look nice. The other thing I got was this really neat paint, which I tried it on something somewhere. I'm not sure where it went. But it's this iridescent, it's called dragonfly paint. And it's got all these like iridescent colors so that when you tip it, it shows different shades. There's like red and violet and gold and green and blue and gold and, you know, all of these things in here. And it's really neat, and I don't know where I'm going to use it, but I will use it someplace in this book. I tried doing it, painting it onto like some netting, and it didn't, the netting didn't take it, but the paper underneath it looked gorgeous. But yeah, it didn't quite come out the way I meant it to. So I don't mind getting that over there a little bit. Okay. So we have that. And it may be that I'll go back and I'll actually paint their wings with that. I don't know at this point. And on this one, I'm going to use my art glitter glue. I think I'll grab it from a different spot, only because this has got a smaller, if it'll even come out. Sometimes when I don't use it for a little while, it gets stuck, but it is coming out. But this, no. We don't do that. No, we don't. Okay. It's just got a little bit of a smaller nozzle on it. So I can use it for finer things. If I had my tweezers, it would work much better. So I'll just put that there. Okay. Now the other thing I want, we're going to put these down first. Okay. And this I'll use with this. Oh, I can take this out. Okay. And let's see. I don't want to, I gotta remember to fill my glue up. I mean, it's not, the bottle's not empty, but it just seems when it hits about halfway or almost halfway, I have to make it come down, you know, so to the tip. So I get impatient with it. I'm trying to just get a little glue on there, which I was probably not too successful. But I want to put this here, but I don't want to press this one down until I get this one down. Okay, so I get to play with some of my new stuff, and that's what's going to be exciting for me. Well, I say new, but okay. Actually, I think maybe before I put that other flower down, see if I can dig out those, I can move you over a little bit. see if I can dig out those stickers and see what I think. I don't know. Get stuck to my fingers. I don't know. Really don't remember what they look like. I think they were kind of brownish, if I recall. Okay, that's gonna have to go down, but I'll worry about that later. Let me see if I can get to them. It's this thing. Okay. This is some, yes. Okay, so this is what I've had for all these years that do not go in to those. That's not, I can use these. I may save these. I don't know if you can see these, but I may save these to go around the edges of the, what do you call it when I put it in? So, but they look like this, like that. So I may do that around the edges. Some are these wreaths, some are like little just whatever. So I think I'll just put these to the side. But then I have things like this. So do I want to use something like this behind the other flowers? Like, put that there. And I was going to put this in here. So would I want to do that? I want it to look very woodsy, is what I want it to do. Okay. And then this was going to go, I guess I can put it here actually. And I like that there. I just have to do the ink on it. I may actually, I'm not too concerned about down here, but I think I'm going to cut it a little closer. It's just a little, for what I'm doing, it's just a little too white. So it's not going to be perfect, but it's all right. Okay. So needless to say, I will be working on this off camera, but basically doing what you see me doing here already, just continuing on and, you know, working on the pages more. I may come back and do a little bit more on camera, but I'd like to try to do a little bit of the different elements that are going to be going in. Even if I can't get, you know, get it all finished on camera, because I don't want to, whoops, I don't want to do this on other days, only because the way Nanine, Tania has set it up, Tania from Teddy Treasure has set it up, is to have each one of us doing our project on a different day. So I don't want to be doing this project for her on any other day but Tuesday, because other people have, other people have, you know, Monday, Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, etc., etc. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that down here. This little one tore off, but I'm not going to worry about that. Take this, which I should have done before I cut it. Tone that down a little bit so it sort of blends. That's good. And then let's go from here. We get this one. Put this down. See, I have to coax it to come out. So get up in here. And I will go back and I will check if anything didn't quite, a little leaf or something didn't quite get the corner or something like that. We can do that. But now here is going to be coming a little bit of what I wanted to try to do, which was, and that's fine. Move that back, push that back a little bit. And I have this and this. Now the other thing I wanted, let me see, I have these, which I have not opened yet. So let me find my snisters. And we'll open that. Okay. And one of the things that I wanted to do was put some leaves in. Okay. Now let's see. I have this color, which I think would go a little, I've got glue on my fingers, everything's sticking to me. I think it would go a little bit nicer with this color. That's gonna go here. I'm gonna put that there. And let's go ahead with that. We're gonna put a couple of these leaves in like this, okay? And what this is gonna do when I do this, and I think I can do this. Where's my envelope? Had an envelope. Aha. I do believe this is the envelope. Perhaps not. Somewhere. Hang on, hang on, hang on. I know it's here. Here we go. This is my other bits and pieces. This is what's going to be being used in the rest of the book, but this is my fairies. Now, here is going to be the thing. I need to find, if I can in this one, a fairy. Dump them out on here so I can see. It isn't too big. That will fit under the leaf. So what we're going to do, let me just ink that a little bit. Get rid of those more whitish edges. All right, let's go ahead and put this mushroom down. I'm off camera, sorry about that. Okay. What did I do here? Oh, that's okay. All right, I get it. I get it. All right, let's try to get this in. I have no idea how long we've been doing this. So I said I may try, depending on how fast I can move with the other things I need to do. I may try to do more of these on camera. We'll see. And if I, only because I'll be a little bit more prepared, and I should have inked this. And now I've got wet glue on top of it. So that should be interesting. All right, I think we'll be all right. Yeah, I got the glue all inked up, but not the paper. That's all right. It is okay, because it rubs away. Another wonderful thing about this glue. All right, I'm going to put one of these down. Come on. Okay. Glue one of these down. First, we'll kind of put it, let's put it here. Okay. It covers that whitish spot on there. Then when I glue this one down, I'm trying to rub the ink off my, the glue rather off my fingers. I'm going to just glue, definitely have to fill this glue up. I'm just gonna glue on the bottom here. Okay, I'm gonna give it a substantial amount because I wanna make sure it sticks. And that one's gonna come over here. Okay, like so. I'm going to let that sit while we finish putting the other stuff on, which would be this little mushroom. I told you I was going to make a mess, didn't I? So I got to get a little ink in there. We're going to put this little mushroom down, and I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. So, like I said, once I get the bit of the story in here, I will, you know, go around the edges with, I don't know, maybe something else. I have butterflies and was going to do ladybugs, and who knows what I'm going to, I don't know what I'm going to put in here. I've got all kinds of ideas, but I don't know yet. All right, so I want this just here. All right. Now let's see what I think about this little fairy. Will she fit under the leaf? She may be a little big. So let me see. This one will fit. That one will fit adorably. Okay, so what I'm going to do, it's still kind of wet, but I'm going to take this little one, which I didn't cover my glue now, so it may not come out. Oh, there it is. Thank you, God. Okay. And we're going to take this little fella, little darling, and we're going to put that under this leaf. Push her in a little bit. This is the problem with using our glitter glue. Okay. And she is now under here. I have to make sure I pushed the thing down. There was a lot of glue on her. So I want to get the glue off the back of this leaf. But that leaf will, when the glue dries, will lay down over that little fairy. Okay? So that's where one of the little fairies is going to be hidden, under the leaf here. I don't know if you can see that. Let me try to bring it up so you can see. So that's what we've done so far. And like I said, I folded that back, but when that leaf gets lifted, there's the little fairy baby underneath the leaf. Okay, so she's hidden in there. Oh, while I was up, I should check my time. Okay, that's not too bad. Okay, so the last thing I want to try to do, and I have not used this stuff. This is, sorry for the noise. This is moss. I purposely looked for something that was fake, and it says it's fake. I don't know about that. And I'm thinking it's going to create a bit of a mess, but I wanted to put some moss along the bottom here, like so. Okay, just along the bottoms. Okay, I have no idea how this is going to work. I have no idea if it's going to work. Okay, so we're just going to put a little bit here. I didn't want anything that was really kind of live going in here. So I purposely looked for something where it said it was artificial. I don't really know if it is or not. So I know it's very dry, which is good, because dry is what I need. My problem is it keeps sticking to my fingers. But once this is dry, I will go back and try to glue down what may not have gotten stuck, or trim it. I don't know at this point exactly what I'm going to end up doing. Trying to push that into that little pile of glue there. But that was my idea. I'll have to get this back in the bag. But that was my idea for that, as you can see. So it adds a little bit more dimension. Little thing there. And that's what it looks like. And then again, the little fairy is under that leaf right there. Okay, we're gonna leave it up so that, and then we have the morning glory with the dragonfly, and then we'll have our piece of the story in here, and then we'll edge it with a little bit of something else. I don't know what at this point, but it's been an hour. So we're going to leave it at this. But that gives you an idea about how each one of these pages are going to be done. And I will, when I get the story ready to glue in the pieces, I will show, you know, how I put that down. So you'll be able to see that, and how maybe I'll decorate a little bit more around it with something. And we'll see what we can see with that. So for that is it for now, guys, for tonight. I hope you had fun kind of coming along on this unusual adventure with me. So in the meantime, be safe, be happy, and be blessed, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now.